So for the video of this podcast, I just showed a video of people living in a cave in Afghanistan. People are probably wondering, what the hell was that? Why? And the reason why I did that, and it could be from many parts of this country, is because I just wanted to show you what a lot of people and how a lot of people live in this world. In this wacky wide world of ours, this is regular life of people. And a lot of them are happy. They enjoy their lives. So these people, I'm going to explain what other people saw in the video, and you can watch it on YouTube or on some of our other video versions of this podcast. Is basically a family living in a cave, getting through life, cooking breakfast, dinner, getting the food ready and cooking it up. Kids playing with little plastic bottles with caps as wheels on them. They have chickens and roosters running around and no doors. Living in a cave like literally the Flintstones. Not to make fun of it, but I'm making a point here, so listen. And it's this is the way they live. And around the world, this is how a lot of people live. And they're content. They're raising their kids. They're enjoying life as much as they can. They're getting through life, and they're content. So this is the way a lot of people live on this earth. And then life gets better in other areas of the country, and you move up in certain countries, more developed countries. So these people, this is what they know, and this is what they accept, and they live, and they're happy all over the world. This is how they live. And the reason why I showed this is because let's zoom over to the United States of America and the situation we're in right now. And you compare how we live to how they live. And if I was given the choice, I love living in the United States of America. I cherish what I have. I'm grateful for living in this country. I love having a house, air conditioning, a car, a place to put food, refrigerator, just the accommodations and all the products and services, well-developed roads, the infrastructure, everything that we have here. We should be grateful and thankful that we live in the United States of America. I am proud to live here. I am so basically honored to live here. I'm happy, I'm content, and I'm glad that, I was given and blessed with this opportunity to live in this country. All my family's here. I can go back generations, and it goes back to the United States. So it's something that we should all be grateful for. And it's something that we should cherish each and every day, the things that we have. And if you're one of those that don't, and if you're one of those that wake up every morning ticked off and angry and aggravated and pissed, you should, from time to time, remind yourselves where you are living. And the way to do that is to look at videos just like I showed here. Go to YouTube. Just type in something, how do people live in Afghanistan? How do people live in Africa? How do people live in India? Even developed countries, a lot of people don't even have a quarter of the stuff that we do here. But in recent years, and as we move on and as we move forward in this country, it seems that Americans are getting more angrier. They're getting more frustrated. They're getting less appreciative. They're resentful. They're angry. And it's just like we have become people of resentment, and we've become a spoiled people. We've become spoiled Americans. We have had it so well each and every day. We wake up every morning and we have everything at our fingertips. Now, of course, the left is going to say, how dare you? There are homeless on the streets. There are people that don't have things. The government is not providing. And we have people that they have nothing. There is so many opportunities, and I'm not going to get into the homeless situation because really, in most cases, a lot of these other people in other countries are living like beyond worse than the homeless here in the United States. But I'm saying, as a whole, in this country, we have it well. We have a great life here, and I just think that we're taking advantage of the situation. We're ticked off at each other. We're arguing back and forth. In most cases, there is one side that absolutely hates the other side. The infighting, the arguing, the rage in this country. It's like, what is going to make people happy in this country? What is going to make people get along in this country? Because right now, like I said, we are all, in most cases, as a whole, acting like a bunch of spoiled 2-year-olds. We take it for granted, everything that we have here, and it's not enough. I want more. It's not fair. We need more. The other side is, you're getting too much. You need to get off your ass and do this. You need to do more. And a lot of times those people pointing the fingers, they're the ones that are taking advantage of the system itself. You can look that up. Look at red states on welfare. But I'm covering a lot of topics here, but my point is the people of the United States needs to get a grip, and they need to, we need to understand there's going to be some major changes. And I keep bringing this up too, and I'm going to do a whole podcast on it, but I'm going to just kind of enlighten you very quickly on why I'm talking about this and what it's leading up to, because as we're fighting politically and arguing back and forth on who the Speaker of the House should be, which is the most ridiculous thing, as we can't get along, and as the rich get richer, the poor get poorer, and the greedy get greedier, and politicians taking advantage of everyday Americans, politicians taking money and ripping people off. And as slanted media gets more slanted to make people angrier and more divided, as they bring in billions of dollars in advertising revenue, the money-making scheme that they have developed is make people angry at each other, make them watch us every day, raise advertising rates. As all of this is happening, and this horrible situation in Israel, the horrible situation in Ukraine, all this is going on. Everything's bubbling to the top in the United States. We're fighting about every little thing, as neighbors are fighting with neighbors, and all this other infighting and just this drama that's going on. Putin, a couple of weeks ago, he went over to China, and they had a good old time having a meeting with other leaders of the world. And it wasn't really covered that much because we're focused on getting a speaker, and we were focused on Israel. So Putin figured a perfect time to go to China and start discussing some things about the world. And I talked about this a long time ago, and I kind of every now and then I hint about it. But one of the things that sparked in that conversation and a speech that China President Xi made sent shivers down my bones, because what he said was exactly what I was talking about a while back. And those key words were a new world order. That is a very serious thing. If you didn't hear the speech, or you don't know about it, or you don't even know about what a new world order is, go to Google and look it up. New definition of new world order. He made this strong speech with a standing ovation with Putin by his side. It's time for a new world order. Now, you're probably shocked about hearing this on my little podcast, and you probably heard nothing about it and you didn't see anything about it, because Putin is very smart that way. That's why Donald Trump loves him so much, the dictator that he is. So President Xi said, it's time for a new world order. The United States of America made a mockery of running the earth, he basically said, and I'm paraphrasing, and I'm not telling you exactly what he said, but it was something like that the United States made a disaster out of being in control of the earth, of the world, of other countries, of watching other countries and taking care of other countries. The United States fumbled the ball, and it's time for a new world order. Anybody that knows what that is, what that means, what it's all about, and who has estimated that this was going to happen, or proposed, or they knew at some point, at some time, those three words were going to come up, and it did in this speech, with a certain amount of countries being a part of it. So a new world order is being announced, and it's time. We're in for a rude awakening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you right now. And as we're fighting over if transgenders are allowed in certain bathrooms, if transgenders are allowed to play in sports, if we should drink Bud Light or not, if, what women do with their bodies, and we're all focused on this. As we're screwing around here in the United States, there are plans being made right now. What's double scary about this also is a few days later, Putin on his Let's Screw Over United States tour, he went over to North Korea, and they had a little meeting and discussed the notes, and basically kind of got a feeling of, are you a part of this situation or not? So they're getting chummy there, working out some military supplies and things like that. All of this is conveniently working behind the scenes as we deal with Israel, Ukraine, and our own petty garbage here in the United States. And I said this before, what's great for them and what's amazing for them right now is they don't have to put any effort of the United States falling apart economically, politically, socially, because we are doing it ourselves, ladies and gentlemen. We're doing it for them. They love it. I said this a couple of weeks ago. They have their arms folded, sitting on a couch, eating popcorn, just watching us eat ourselves from the inside. So as you see these radicals on the right say that we got to tear down and burn down the government and start over with more freedom and less government, they're helping this new world order. As we look at the radical left saying that we need to start calling each other they, and we cannot be looking at each other a certain way. We can't fat shame. We can't, we got to allow to keep giving drugs to homeless people and let them stay homeless. They're a part of this new world order. They're helping them with their cause. We are assisting them with tearing the country apart from within. We're eating ourselves inside out. They don't need to do anything. Once again, this is not going to happen overnight. It's going to be years. I pray and hope every night that it's not something that's going to rapidly happen. But the wheels are in motion, ladies and gentlemen. And President Xi from China has proven it. He has made the official statement. He is putting together a plan, a proposal, if you will, Other countries, without a doubt, want to get involved. Yes, count me in, they say. And all these dictatorship countries are ready to say, you know what? We can run this planet better than the United States. And the shape that we're in, the shape that we are in this country, literally, physically, emotionally, and mentally, if something major was to happen, do you think, I've said this before too, the condition, the spoiled condition that we are in mentally, physically, and emotionally in this country, if something major was to happen in this country and something seriously happened and we had to run for our lives, we wouldn't even be able to do that. We are so out of shape physically. If we had to defend ourselves for whatever reason, we wouldn't be able to do that emotionally. The stress factor of Gen Z is so out of control. That's just a whole nother podcast that we're going to talk about. I keep saying that, and there's so much that's going on in this country. We have so much to talk about. Gen Z is a whole nother story. They are so stressed out. They've been so pampered for so many years. They have been raised in this bubble. And now when it's time for them to grow up and get out and be productive, they can't because they are so stressed. That's why most of them are still living at home up to in their 30s. We are in serious problem. We are in serious trouble here. We need to get a grip and we need a true reality slap because it's coming. The proposal has been set. The wheels are in motion. I don't know how long it'll take. I don't know what the plan's going to include, but all I do know is I heard the speech. I heard those words. I heard the applause. And people want to get involved that should not be involved. Countries with radical, corrupt dictators are now saying, we can run this planet better than the United States, and it's time for a new world order. Holy macro. So, for those of you that are pointing the finger at each other, the politicians raising money off infighting, the slanted media that are raising money by keeping us divided, the radicals on the right that say we need to tear down this government and start over, the radicals on the left say we need to take care of our transgender bathrooms. It's time to get a grip. It's time to look and see what is happening on this earth and start preparing. Now, some people are saying, oh my God, this guy's a drama queen. He's psychotic. All I got to say is look it up. Listen to the speech from President Xi, what's going on with Putin, the involvement with North Korea, and some other situations with Taiwan, Ukraine, and there's more coming. How much is the United States going to be able to handle? Are we going to be able to stay number one? Will there be a new world order? Stay tuned.